whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of Schools with Heart. I'm Olivia LaField, your internet expert on helping you create the SEL classroom of your dreams. I'm hoping you've watched all the previous videos and started reading my books, which will prove your passion and commitment to not only trusting me to guide you on your SEL journey, but will also, and most importantly, prove your commitment to your students, to being the little red hen who's working hard to reach your full potential as a master teacher, who's learning to love your students, even the rascals among them, unconditionally. In other words, you're committed to being the best curriculum that you're learning here with me and becoming the best teacher, a great teacher, a master teacher. Perhaps you bought my poster book and you've already made the Good, Better, Best poster. You have to stop that. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good is better and the better is best. Perhaps you and your students are already chanting it with a relish. If that's the case with you, I'm waiting anxiously to hear from you. I need to hear from you. I need to know that my channel is reaching the teachers of America who, like me, want to make the world a better place for the children. So please, take the time to leave me comments. Tell me what you need help with. What's working? What isn't working? We're really just getting started here. But I want to connect with you today, right now. That's how you want it to be with your kids. You want to build strong relationships right away. There's no time to lose in the life of a child. Our laser-focused question at all times, in all situations, must be, what's best for the kids? Always and forever. Let that be your guiding mantra. What's best for kids? So let's look at how that manifests in the classroom. Today I'm going to give you the how-to of promoting nothing but the best focus. And to do that, a powerful story comes to mind. A few years ago, you may recall that I was mentoring a teacher in a trauma school. The summer before school opened, he gave me permission to take down virtually everything from all of his existing walls and replace the old and useless with the new and wonderful. That's to say, I created a magnificent SEL room with all my posters. Adam was brand new to social emotional learning, but he was open. He was a sponge, and he wanted to be the educator that God had created him to be. One step at a time, I introduced the concepts on the posters, and the very first one I targeted was the Good, Better, Best poster. Now I'm going to tell you an unforgettable story of how I introduced the concept of Good, Better, Best to Adam's second graders. So, the first week of school, I had planned a fun art lesson that would combine the Little Red Hen hard work focus with the Good, Better, Best focus. Keeping in mind these were second graders, I had made copies of the cake that was on the Little Red Hen poster. And the plan was that everyone would color it, and then we'd post them all around the Little Red Hen poster, which, by the way, was huge. Everyone got their paper, and the instruction was simple. It must be their absolute best work. Nothing else would be accepted. So here's where the story begins. In less than 5 minutes, Cheyenne brought her paper to me at the front of the room, and it was obviously not her best. In fact, it was more like scribbles. I looked at her with compassion and gently told her that I knew she could do better. And then I gave her another copy of the cake paper and sent her back with encouraging words. Keep in mind that Adam was observing this whole time. My plan was to show him what I meant by not accepting anything but their best work. After I sent Cheyenne away to try again, I stopped the class and reminded them that if I didn't think it was their absolute best, they would be given a new paper. Yes, it was a warning, but it was said with a loving spirit, and the kids felt my kind words. Soon Cheyenne came back with her second effort. It was a little better, but not enough to convince me that it was her best. Once again, I gave her another copy and sent her back with words of encouragement. Once again, I stopped the class and got their full attention. I talked about how the little red hen had worked hard so she got the cake, and that the cake in this case would be how proud they would feel about themselves when I approved their best artwork. Finally, a couple kids had my stamp of approval, and while all the rest were still working, Cheyenne came to me with her third effort. Definitely better. And I told her so, but I pointed out places where I knew she could improve. Just little improvements. And I gave her a fourth copy of the cake. Tears welled up in her eyes. I was pushing hard, holding the bar high. I didn't know this child yet. I didn't know her story. I was taking a chance, but in my heart I knew she could do better. Everything in that crucial moment depended on the degree of love she felt from my urgings. Thankfully, she took the fourth copy of the cake, and I looked at Adam, wondering what he was thinking. By now, I had approved of quite a few samples. Others were working on their second copies, but no one was working on a third. And then it happened. Cheyenne came to me with her fourth copy. It was so amazing that I asked her if someone else had done it for her. She was, of course, thrilled with the question and convinced me it was hers. It was my turn for tears and hugs of congratulation. Immediately, I found her prior copies and put them in order with her first copy on top. Then I gathered the entire class in the front of the room. And with Cheyenne, you can see this now in your mind, proudly standing close by, I showed her peers each of the three efforts. We talked about how each one was better than the one before. We talked about how she never quit. We talked about how each time she worked harder and each time it got better. And then I showed the class her fourth copy. They burst out in applause. They clapped. They cheered. They were so happy for her. And then I turned to Cheyenne and I asked her how she felt. You could have heard a pin drop. It was obvious from her beaming countenance. Proud. She felt proud. The moment was ripe for an SEL lesson that we would repeat all year. When you work hard and do your best, you get the cake. You feel proud of yourself. You get happy. You like school more. You're more successful. You respect yourself. I could have accepted Cheyenne's third copy. It was good. It was better, but it wasn't best. I could have worried that I might hurt her feelings if I pushed too hard. I could have lowered my bar. But I am fanatical about expecting my students' best. And sadly, I don't know many teachers who are. When we're not, think about this. We rob our students of the joy that comes from reaching their full potential. I think often of Annie Sullivan, who pushed Helen Keller when everyone else in her life had given up on her. If you haven't seen the movie, you must. It would inspire you. Please ask yourself today, can you honestly say that you hold your bar high, that you expect the best from your students? Or do you make excuses for them? Do you limit their success by allowing substandard work? When my students' writing samples are substandard, I refuse to grade them. I write at the top, NYB, not your best, and I give them back. I do it because I love my students, and I want them to achieve their full potential. I want them to remember me as the teacher who helped them rise above pretty good, good enough, average, and mediocrity. I want them to be world changers. I want my students to love themselves, respect themselves, be people of honor and integrity. And when they choose to do their best, they are choosing happiness. They're choosing to live our motto, a better me, a better life, a better world. Remember, as you go about each day with the kids this year, to ask yourself often, what's best for my kids? Use it as the foundation for your difficult choices. Live by it and watch miracles unfold. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.